Hello, Mr. Moss.
Good evening, Brenda. How are you?
Hi. Good, how are you? Did you wonder about this?
No.
Because we didn't have information.
Oh, you sent me a text and I never responded back to you. It's just, I'm thinking about it.
Just a visual reminder for me that lots of moving pages. This is the one that I want to go to. I was going to staple things together, it didn't work quite.
When Mr. Renfro today. Yeah, I think the school superintendent down there, they got that.
How could?
Looking for support.
I'm checking out.
Yeah.
He's got my back. I sent him a text.
Thank you, dear.
Well,
Yeah.
Debbie, I just saw that our county was done.
So,
And then, Marquita Brixton, because I saw there was a Roger Hopper. There used to be, there was a Roger Hopper that was security. Nancy. James?
Thank you, Mary.
Yeah.
Oh, me.
John Points.
How's next week?
Right.
right, I just copied the
Hey,
number.
Mary.
So
What is that?
that was the, your plan, guys. That's our.
Yeah.
That's how much we put in. Yeah, what we put in, that's what we have to balance it. First year. So it says, we did budget for that. Which is, might be good numbers. So that's all.
Right here, right here.
You're on.
Hi, guys. I wouldn't talk to these two.
Was all I was saying.
Yes, I know.
I didn't
Use it if you want. It's just FYI.
Sit down.
How come nothing's calculated?
Don, what number is on?
I never know.
Yeah, but the other companies, like.
Everything you whisper is recorded on that.
Okay.
You keep on your glasses. That's good. That's good.
Well, you don't want to go have a chat with the officers about her problem right now? I sit here and shut your mouth.
Big difference. They were doing something else down there.
Because if you'll notice on the bill pay, it says total coverage. Oh, okay. So it wasn't 2020, it was 2022.
That was the end of COVID, and it's been interesting procedure.
Shall we stand for the Lord's Prayer? Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom comes, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. I call this meeting together at 5:30. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Chapman, would you call the roll, please?
Gallagher.
Here.
Messina.
Here.
Cody.
Present.
Scarborough.
Here.
Crawford.
Here.
Moss.
Here, sir.
Langman.
Here.
Wilson is absent.
Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Chapman, call the roll.
Gallagher.
Yes.
Messina.
Yes.
Cody.
Yes.
Scarborough.
Yes.
Crawford.
Yes.
Moss.
Yes, sir.
Langman.
Yes.
Well, for his mayor's comment, I only got one thing to say. They say we got a snowstorm coming, so boo on it.
Yeah, well,
Mr. Chapman, is anybody wishing to speak to the board?
no, I've not received any notices.
An alderman comment, is there any alderman wants to give a comment or an update?
Yes. Go ahead.
You can go first.
It's okay.
Okay. About 6 months ago, we started live streaming the meetings on YouTube. And one of the things that I'd like to share with the board at the next meeting is some of the metrics associated with that. How many people do we have watching it? What's the average view length? Things like that to help talk about and discuss how we can improve on our transparency within our government. So thank you. That's it.
Is that it? Thank you.
The first thing I wanted to ask, well, I had requested that I be put on the agenda for a closed session. So Matthew,
Go into closed session.
hold on just a second, Dave.
It's always on the agenda that we can do in closed session, so.
Okay, all right, because, I mean, just so people would be prepared for it. That's the reason why I asked it to be put on there. Okay, now I would like to go into closed session.
So
Put a
second.
motion, put a motion.
Second.
Wait.
Yeah, they make a motion, take the agenda out of orders.
Got a motion, got a second.
Mr. Mayor, you need a motion and second, take the agenda out of order.
Pardon?
We need-
Motion and second, take the agenda out of order.
So let me make the motion to take us out of order.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Chapman, call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Messemer,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Moss,
Yes, sir.
Lane.
Yes.
Hang on, that's not the motion to go into closed session now.
Right. Now, I would like to make a motion to go into closed session
You need to do it and read.
before we.
Yeah, if it deals with property, insurance, or personnel.
First.
It's on the back page of the agenda.
I have a motion to go in.
No, you don't.
Well, he's figuring out how to word it. How to word it. I think it's the second one.
Hiring, firing, disciplining, promoting, that,
Yeah, RSMO.
hiring, firing, disciplining, and promoting particular employees by a public government body or personal information about the employees discussed or recorded as used in subdivision. The term personal information means information relating to the performance and merit of individual employees.
Second.
Any discussion?
I think you need to add according to revised state statute 610.021 subsection 3.
Go ahead.
Do you accept that revision?
In that revision, RSMO 610.021 subsection 3.
Second.
Any more discussion? Mr. Chapman, call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Messemer,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Moss,
Yes, sir.
Langer.
Yes.
I'd like for the HR on to come in and meeting also.
It should have been a.
Should have been included in the motion.
Okay.
Need some help with that?
Maybe.
Yeah, I need help all the time.
Matthew, if you would, they can send you out, but I think you need to be back there unless they send you out. You and grab that door. Oh, she's-
Oh, was that you on the phone this morning?
Mhm.
I tried to get far over as I could. I mean, it's supposed to be your nearest spot.
It's like everybody goes to that one spot.
10 feet, I mean, I don't have here. Can we put a sticker on the pavement? Getting pulled over in this section, park here. Hey, we just eliminated a lot of problems. Chief,
Hey, Chris Grant, where are you guys up for block or?
He's got a, yeah, he's got a donor,
Mhm.
to pay for that, for the, right?
he mentioned it to me the other day, yeah.
So I was gonna say something at the meeting tonight, but it'll be run, it's. So she needs a vote.
I just looked, I'm not, I see.
I didn't see
Wednesday.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I've seen
It's $2,100.
Supposed to get older.
Yeah, but Below 20.
That's fine. I don't think that needs to be anything, just.
It's still February, so anything can happen, but.
Because there's not really anything money-wise that's changing the basis.
Yeah, the bill, we'll go to this, and the bill, is done.
That's the way I just put it.
That's what I understand, too. I don't know what, they're gonna want to know what's getting out of it, or what, or not, but.
Maybe a write-off. Donate, I mean, you can donate, it to be a write-off.
1636.
A charitable donation is what that was called. I don't know, he didn't say who it was, he just said it's a donor. Part of me wants to think it might be him, but he won't ever get that. He wants to see it on there, so.
I don't know, he's really worried. It's contained, it's not that much.
Yeah. Away. I think that's what his thing is. Yeah, I don't know. He's on a truck for it for a couple months now.
I don't think he said he was ready, because they're not on with their bill.
I think be willing to do it.
I guess we could.
Auntie Chris is bringing the donut. Or, I mean, a hot dog. Yeah, that's for hot dog.
I still want to speak with the association, but. Just so that you're-
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Sorry, I've been able to help the last couple of days. It seems like every day we've had some local shifts. I've had stuff going on for North Kansas City. So. I had my third interview today with the board. It went well. I didn't pass my CPAT on Sunday. It's 15 seconds shy of getting optional. So keep at that. I went today and interviewed him. I just lost my balance. That was all it was. So. But I texted him today. Yeah.
You got it.
So.
That's.
I kind of get why they have it. I mean, a lot of their buildings are 5 stories and up. Very nice words. Yes, sir. No, not yet. You can keep an eye out for them? No. I know you're hungry. I texted her and the show. Yeah, I think they're fine staying with the association because he's the team. I think he could talk to Scott, working with Scott on it, so. I think we'd be fine with that. With the bosses. Bugs me. I don't know, they just, they're eating. Yeah, town secrets. Did you go say hi to the police officers? Ask him to show him his handcuffs.
Hey, you remember Nancy, my wife, she had a lot of fun at that party the other day.
That's why I said.
She said, why the ear honking?
He's like, I feel so bad. He's like, they wouldn't play games here, so you know he's playing this. He's like, yeah. Like, there was an ATM, and he's like, I know. And I'm like, you know they can take anything from you now. He's like, no. He's saying, he's like, I felt really bad. They just went off and did their thing. I look around, they were doing this, and then they went and did this. He sent me a picture of him playing chess, picking up chess. And he was like, I don't want to go with them. He was like, you don't have to go.
I did start taking that.
It looked like you guys had a good turnout though.
Yes.
Because it's only when you get to,
I know it's not for me, it's.
Well, I had to go for
It worked, man, it blew me away. I was at Saturday. Once a week. And it was.
Twice, yeah, I'm like, the last 30 seconds is where I lost my balance. I felt good, like I hadn't even broke a sweat. Yeah, I just couldn't keep my balance. It was the weirdest thing. I've been training for the last 2 weeks. I've been on the mill, out of the 2 weeks, at least 8 days in a row, and then I took Saturday off.
It does that too.
And I was basically walking 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes every time I got on it. At one, but variable rates, like, of course, every time I start out, I try to work the 320-second for and I've only accomplished that one day. And that's what I got this. Yeah. Their steps are solid, and what I kept doing is I kept hitting like the deck with my toe, and I wasn't used to that, because the ones at the gym are like knuckles almost, and so I've been practicing not putting my toes all the way forward. I just lost it, so. And I thought they were a lot lenient than I thought, and the guy's like, the instructor's like, just so you know, he's like, doing this, he's like, it's fine, just don't do this. And I'm like, all right. He's like, you can bump all you want. You just can't put your arms up and pull back. I'm like, all right. You can catch yourself twice, but after the second offense, if you did it. Yeah. And that's what I did the first time. And I'm like, oh, can't touch that. And I was like, all right. Finally seen it. Like, if you do it twice.
Not that much.
I don't want you touching that right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you got your face.
I've been doing it with an 80-pound vest. Nicole had an 80-pound vest, and she's on me. And I'll get on with an 80-pound vest, and then she go. So, she says 30 minutes at 1 or 2 level. She's like, just build that cardio and that move, and I think we should get it. It's 75 pounds, which doesn't feel any less. Right.
I got some video of
I see that. Ryan. No, stop. Yeah, I think if I could have gotten that, I was like 2 minutes and 45 seconds, I was 15 seconds. Yeah. And they don't tell you, but the guy kind of laid my paper down and said, he was so close. I said, I'll see you next month. He's like, I'm glad you said that, because I guess I could have came back later in the day and tried it again. And I'm like, you're in the right mind to come back. Yeah. Yeah, and I will say, my leg. I don't know, and I was hoping I'd hear something else back from him, because I messaged him today to let him know, hey, I didn't stop. I didn't make it, didn't pass my CPAP. Again. And he's like, okay. Hey, Ryan, I'm going back at a closed session. You can sit down.
Do I have a motion to come out of a closed session? Second. Mr. Chapman, take a vote.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Messerman,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Moss,
Yes, sir.
Langman.
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah, and so will you?
Mr. Mayor, I'm not quite finished. What I've always strived to do from the time I'm on the board, this time and prior when I was on the board, is to work with who my constituents are, the board members, the mayor himself, and et cetera, et cetera. What I've witnessed since I've been back, as far as I'm concerned, it's disgraceful. It really is. We never had this degree of vitriol, never had this degree of arguing. I know pretty much, with the exception of some of the citizens here that's sitting here, I know everybody in this room. I worked with them extensively. And it's really kind of alarming to me. I mean, to see what has been taken, gone for what, 2.5, maybe 3 years. And it's really sad, because it really doesn't have to be like this. You know, I'll work with anybody, but what I do have a problem with, constantly this turning the city into an episode of the X-Files. Because that's what it seemed like to me. There's not a conspiracy theory lurking around every corner. There's not. I mean, it doesn't make us look good. But for those of you that just think that's thinking that this is doing the city good, it's not. It's not doing us good that Murmur has to come and corral us in all the time. It's not good that we have to have city attorneys sitting out there. It's not good for, we have a finance chair and a mayor that has to be grilled every time they come in here and put on trial for every little mistake that they may make. People are going to make mistakes. That doesn't mean that they're doing it intentionally. And if what happened at last meeting, the way I took it is that people were being accused of doing something underhanded. That's the way I took it. Didn't talk to nobody, don't need to talk to nobody. I was here, I was sitting right here, and I thought it was wrong. People, especially when you start talking about people's private information, they can choose to tell us stuff. They don't have to tell us nothing. And that's the reason why the people shouldn't be grilled about it. It's not that they don't have to come up here and just lay out their whole household to us, okay, just because other people feel like they need to know. So I would really encourage people to be mindful of that. I mean, some of this stuff can be pretty painful. I wouldn't demand that anybody up here or out there have to come up here and explain to me every aspect of their life. And the next point I want to do, I would like to put a motion on the floor. I want to move to change city administrator's compensation from hourly to salary to set forth by the current hourly rate of 40 hours. Future compensation will increase according to the step plan, schedule, and annual evaluation as it does for all employees. This is consistent to how we handled Chief Knudsen and how we converted him to a salary. It also complies with our budget, okay? Meaning that we're no longer paying overtime for the extensive hours that people are putting in. It's just straight 40 hours, okay? And the city administrator's position meets the Department of Labor requirements for exempt employees. That would be a pay grade of line 157 with step 1 at 3473. Now, can we move forward? I don't know. I would like to, but it sure the heck ain't just up to me. I don't, and Mr. Gallagher, don't know you, not really that well. I would like to get to know you better. I mean, I'm pretty probably sure that we ran into each other over the fire farm before. I just don't really remember. Okay, but there are some things that has happened that you probably didn't even realize that you upset me about it because I was on the board then. Okay, but I don't appreciate the picture deal. That rubbed me the wrong way.
Sorry, what did you say?
The pictures and all this stuff. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that was out of line to me. Okay, so if you want to try to move past that, we can talk about it. Okay, if that's what you want to do. If not, that's what it is. Okay.
I'll second that motion. Well, I've got one thing to say before we go any further. When I took office, I told everybody there'll be a one-step raise when your evaluation was due.
There's not a raise.
It's not a raise, we're changing it.
Huh?
It's not a
We're
raise.
changing his classification.
Salary.
It's under contract.
From salary.
Just salary to salary, not a raise.
It's not a raise.
Not a
it's-
raise.
No,
Okay, and I can't,
No, not a
like
raise.
I said, when I took office, I said it'd be a one step. And there's been some grumbling about it. You can continue. Okay, I'm just stating my position.
okay. We have a first and a second.
Okay, now we understand each other.
Okay.
Is there any other comment?
I have a comment, but I'd like to do it after the vote.
Any
That's
other?
what I was saying, the only comment I had is I was wondering about, and we're gonna take the vote, so I'll be mute, because I kept saying, when will we get that he can't have overtime in some personnel? That's the question I want to know, but, and then I don't know if it's to do that, I think it's the comment afterwards about, in our notes from Human Resource, a reminder of the board powers and duties and power as a collective. Too, that's why I agree with that. There needs to be more cohesiveness working together, not someone acting as a spokesman for this board. Unless we've all agreed on it.
Any other discussion? Mr. Chapman, call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Messerman,
Yes.
Kobe,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Moss,
Yes, sir.
Lane. Yes.
Can I do my comment?
Okay.
So just taken out of order a little bit, and Mr. Crawford, I certainly appreciate what you've witnessed over the last couple of meetings. One of the things that I wanted to at least have an honest conversation about is when I joined the board, I asked a lot of questions. Recognized that I did not know everything, but I'm studious and I want to research and I want to learn. One of the driving responses that I received when I started asking questions was, well, this is the way it's always been done. And there's this silent undertow of just stop asking questions. There's no alternative. This is the way it's always been done. And I can't tell you how many times I've been chastised for the exact same thing that's totally irrelevant by the mayor. Many, many times. What you witnessed was a frustration that is a couple of years running at this point.
Okay.
So I want to learn to work with you. I am not against you, and I wish that this board would start working together. Thank you.
Anybody else got anything to comment?
Well, again, like I said before, in the human resource, when she put out there with the class 4, city, and their duties and responsibility and the power as a collective. And I
Is that
become,
first thing on the agenda?
well, there's some comment what he was saying, and whole decision from the board, and then that's when we agree to it, whether we don't like it or not. And I have been disturbed is that you went out and you collecting, that's fine, all this information in 2 years, and I asked you that not once, polling at us and talking to us and letting know. And then I hear you're calling insurance people and said that it's not acting as a whole board. And we have people in person, in place for that whole reason, so that there's not the chaos and there's a consistency in there. I just recalled some other things that we've asked, not to do, and I've asked you about. That's one thing too. I know I recall meeting when the lawyer was handing out what the mayor can do and hiring and firing and whatever, and you had only read half the page and you were already starting to go, all these questions. And then he said, well, it's answered. He said, well, I'm bad because I didn't read the whole page. And that's my concern. Immediately, it's negative in this, with this city. It's not conspiracy. And there are certain procedures that we've always done, that we checked with lawyers in the past. And this is the most efficient, we feel like, to keep the city going. And we want to know and questions, and you have concerns, but there's not been a consistency of coming to the board and working out that you have done the research on your own, then you come up with it, and then every meeting arguing. It's arguing back and forth and not accepting something, so forth. And so that's what's been concerned. I said that in the past, and I offered too that I went to a seminar year, 2 years, will be 2 years, I guess, about consulting in these cities, or working in the together and everything else. And this man does consulting. He says he could come out and do a retreat, especially at the beginning, or something, and working with city councils when we're having this disjointed problem too. And I said, I can see how expensive he is or whatever, if the board ever wants to do that. But the main thing of this, you've just not done enough to in the city and working with us and understand, coming up with it. And like I said, getting lectures from everybody, that's so forth, so that I've been on here and 8 years when I've come on here, and all the things that we've accomplished in this city, and I've not agreed with everybody, and people kind of get heated, but we're not going out and sabotaging and everything. But that's the way I come across too, that it just is arguing everything. And one thing about the personnel, the people on there, I got disturbed at a time that you were scolding or something about someone's time sheet. And I said, that's not your place to do it when we have an employee in there. And how do you know about their time sheet? That's human resource. So anyway, so that's what I'm saying.
Okay, thank you.
That was long. I'd like to respond to some of the items that were listed in there if I can. Not to draw the meeting out, but.
Okay, Ms. Fox.
Yeah.
Can I talk? I'm sorry.
No.
No?
Hold on.
Did you say no?
This is what I'm talking about. There has to be a response. Everything that's said, just think about it for a change, okay?
Look, okay. I'd like to talk about some of the things that you said, because some of them are not true. Yes, I agree. Our board has a duty to discuss things and do things as a collective. Completely agree. We have to be informed when we make decisions. That sometimes involves doing outside research. And all of the research that I've performed, I have then subsequently shared with the entire board. This is not me doing Rambo stuff and then coming back and saying, oh, I've got it all figured out, it's decided, let's move forward with this. It is a due diligence that I performed that looks at history, looks at the statutes, it looks at how our city operates, and it tries to reconcile that with everything. I find it to be measured. I take time and diligence to perform that research, and many people have just cast it aside as though that's something of a millennial thought process. Your statement that during the discussion of the city administrator position, that I quote, didn't read the whole page, that is not true. I've read that entire thing front to back, top to bottom, multiple times, and I never said during that meeting that I only read half the page.
No, I am talking about when they handed out the sheet about when the mayor did the vote, hire and firing, and then when it comes to another employee, takes the majority, 2/3 of the board. and you started reading down that. That's what Tom Capps handed out. And then you started out and you all started saying that, and he said, well, if you read the rest of the page, you said, oh, I'm sorry, I'm bad.
Okay,
Then you finally read it.
that's a thought thing that I do. Yes, you're talking about a closed session discussion with the attorney where he handed out the city statute on the powers of the mayor. And yes, I'm kind of a verbal reader sometimes. When there's a point on there that's relevant to the conversation we're having, I said it. The first part of it talks about standard actions required of an employee, which requires a simple majority. And then the second half of it speaks specifically to the item that he was discussing. He handed it out, said, read it. I started verbally reading it, and then halfway through, I'm like, oh, here's the second part, the part that's relevant. I didn't get to that part. Here it is. And then I read the second part. I don't see how that is me just saying, I didn't read the second half. And so that's it.
But it was immediate. That's the way it came across with me and some of the other board members. It wasn't a closed session, it was out here.
No, that was in closed session.
Alderman Nesbitt.
May I interject? May we stop
Yes,
this,
stop. Go to your meeting, please.
continue on with our meeting? please?
Yes, I agree. Thank you.
Thank you. So I think we're now ready for the administration report.
Mr. Chairman, she said we're ready for the administration report.
Go back to close.
Matthew, point out my name.
This on this, right there, right there.
Mr. Slater.
No, it's Mr. Chapman.
Chapman first.
Okay.
I provided a written report. You should additionally have in front of you the bids for the downstairs carpeting project, which was previously approved by the board. Chief McGilling had approached me 6 weeks or so ago and asked me to put together an RFP for the project, which I did. We got 3 bids, only 2 of which met the deadline. So I was just trying to get back to the board with information about those. One bid is local, and it is by far the lowest of the bids. So it is staff's recommendation to go with K&M for the downstairs carpet.
Alderman Nesbitt.
Is the carpet the same in both bids? I can't tell.
Yeah, as far as I can tell. As far as I can tell.
Cool.
We're supposed to.
As far as you can tell, but you're not for sure.
Yeah, I didn't put it on the bid.
That you ask these vendors or show these vendors what kind of carpet you were
Yes,
interested in?
it's a specific brand and model of carpet.
But you're not sure if both of these vendors
To me,
quoted,
it appears that they are.
Are they the same model, really?
I don't have it.
Alderman Kirkland.
I mean, took $20,000. That's what I'm like, what's the difference between it? Because it can't just be the gas, the auto box. You know,
I'm sorry, what did you say?
It seemed like a lot of difference in that.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like,
I mean,
Trying to figure out.
I'm really
why.
surprised that it's that big of a difference.
You'll get that with anything you do.
Like 20 grand,
Well,
Jesus
they
Christ.
think
Some people are really proud of stuff.
30 grand, 20 difference.
Yeah,
Saying it's
20
about
difference.
20. It
All right.
both says Aladdin on both of them. It says that for sure.
Okay.
I don't see the rest
It's
of
an
it.
all-weather carpet.
it was
My
something
old captain's office is the same one.
Okay.
Exact same.
The exact same. This
Yeah,
was
First
but
one.
the fancy
Your old
company doesn't
captain's
do
office.
that. The other company says exactly what it is.
All right.
Okay. See, I didn't.
So
Are you
just thinking
moving
square
layout?
footage has to be in the same ballpark. If they're quoting the same square footage, 1920,
This one says 24 by 24 perfect tile, manufacturer, however you say that. And this other one, new form tile, midnight bay, but it does, oh, there's 19.
yeah. So that one says the square footage.
Jared, are you, recommending the lower one?
The K and M,
And then, they write it out in different ways, so it's hard to compare.
So both companies are moving furniture and then moving it back after the carpet is installed, faux face or whatever that's called.
That's the, on these walls here, you can see at the bottom of the wall, the rooms, that's covenant.
I don't know what any of this stuff means. I don't understand that. That's easy.
I think that's like a caulk or something.
It's not broken down on this one.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we go with K&M Servicing
I'll second that.
for the installation of the carpet and all that entails in the lower level of City Hall. The police department,
Second.
does it include any other area down there?
we're gonna try to get court from the wind if that does not have that.
Does that include the communications
No, that's separate, across the island.
separate?
We're gonna have to pull everything out, including our videos and stuff.
New consoles are in the capital campaign, capital budget for next year.
Yeah. Okay.
We got a motion in a second. We
Yeah,
got a motion in a second.
for carpeting, carpeting.
For carpeting downstairs. For carpeting downstairs.
I thought that was one,
The ordinance is-
I didn't get this detail of it.
We should see if they-
Got a motion, we got a second. Is there any other discussion on the carpeting? Mr. Chapman, call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Messerly,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Moss,
yes, sir.
Langer.
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
Anything else before I call Ms. Fox up?
I would be on the
No,
agenda.
Yeah.
it's still.
Mr. Chapman, are you finished?
Yes, I know.
Okay, very good. Okay, so on my written report, the one item that I'm asking for a vote for is to just allow the communications to administration to come through me until we get our reconciliations done. Look, that was not good last month. But here's the thing too, we talked about in the department head meeting, that if we get these done early, then before you get the information, the department heads get to go through their expenses and make sure that everything's in the proper line item. And they'll just be a whole lot more accurate. And there's some things that go on that I just think we can get these things knocked out a whole lot quicker if they don't happen. And do I have anything? No, but it's just one of those feelings that you can get this. And I think it's important, the board gets numbers and they get them quickly and accurately.
Inaccurate.
Yeah, and they don't come accurate unless the department heads. I'm guessing you guys see the financial statements the first time when the package goes out, right? We want to change that, so that they see the packet, they see the financial statements before they come to you, so they can change line items or whatever. Or say, maybe that should have been moved to capital, or maybe that should come out of this fund, type thing. So that's a jest. So that if the board would allow that, I'd appreciate it.
Got a question.
Sure. Just later.
Oh, yes,
Other
sir.
questions on that one.
On the calendar.
When, it sounds like this is a monthly cycle.
Yes.
When does it start? Like on what day of the month?
Well, I will tell you, when I worked at my bank, they were done that first day. When I worked at EDC, they were done that day. And I'm saying that they should probably be done in the first 3 or 4 working days of the month. That should always be our goal.
So it starts on the first working day of the month?
Yes, because then we have our bank statements.
And your goal is to get it down to 1 day, but you estimate that it'll take about 3 or 4 days?
What they do here is a whole lot more complicated than EDC, trust me. But at the bank, we do millions, but at the same time, that was me doing that was my gig.
How long do you think it's gonna take? You said
Probably 3 or 4 business days.
4 business days.
Yeah, should be done. And if something's happened where Matthew takes a bump, I'd be glad to help you with him. But we work together on those, and just want to make sure you get good numbers. And that they get them before you do.
So do we have to take a vote on this? We want
Unless
to
you
vote
guys
on the
object
board?
to it. No, that's a procedure we'd like to have, and unless somebody objects to it. I don't think the board needs to make that decision. We need a solution from last month. You guys came to your second board meeting month without financials. That should never happen.
Yeah.
And hopefully with this, it would never happen again. All right, so update on Star Development you guys got, and then we had a really, remember how we were talking about we could never ever hit sales tax? You guys came up $29,000 short. I think it was 29. At the projected revenue, which is really good. And staff, and we continue to work on getting those other places filled, like Valley Pub and some other locations. And people are really pleased to know that there's not a whole lot of red tape, which is good. So the other one is a cheap, that use tax, my gosh. Look at those numbers. Those weren't there 4 years ago. Okay. And so thank you for all the board members who worked on that, because the state was getting that money, the county was getting that money. So now the city is. I sent out a letter copy to the city clerk and also the finance chair today. To the best of my knowledge, we have not received $101,000 yet that the state's supposed to give us for the car sales tax. And we'll start that process this week, probably as soon as the bank refunds are done. And then we talked about Block last month, and all of them knows, and then that's for it to be on the agenda as an ordinance. Staff recommends that we do that. And then bulletproof windows, we invite Lisa up here to talk about those. It's been her project, so she'll work. And you're gonna see that same $20,000 difference in the bids, but that it's just, as Chief McGinley said, it's just a process of some people like their stuff more than others. Okay. It's the same quality, same 1-inch thick window. So, any questions?
Before you leave us,
Yeah.
we gotta come back to item number 1. We gotta address item number 1.
Unless somebody objects, so we'll just do that.
Nope.
Anybody object?
I appreciate
Go for
that.
it.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions?
Oh, I'm sorry.
So in our 2024 budget summary report, we're 29,500 short of sales tax. So have we reconciled sales tax with the state of Missouri, what we've received, or is there any way to do that?
There probably is. We can look into it. I'm sure. What happens is once a month they send in, for instance, this month, January, they'll mail Matthew to December stuff, what, 7th or 8th working day a month or something like that.
Something like that, but it's a bulk, it's just a deposit they make, we don't get detail.
Yeah. And it's a direct deposit into our
Right.
banking accounts.
Are you thinking there's a discrepancy in what we should get?
Well, I'm thinking we were pretty tight on what we budgeted, very conservative. And it's like, so Was something posted late, or is some organization, did it go to Liberty instead of us?
You can see that trend, but we'd have to go back and do a monthly trend analysis. We could do that, but you've got the annual trends from 21 through 24 there.
Right.
It could be explainable by the fact that there just was less total sales that collected the tax as well.
Because because we budgeted, okay. Just wondering why.
No, I'm gonna guess your $875,000 budget for 2025 is coming short. We did that because if you look, we really rolled the last few months of 2024 as far as sales tax income is concerned. And maybe it has something to do with the correspondence we've had with the state, but I could not pin that down to be exact. But the reason I think it's gonna be conservative is the fact that we will have the Valley Pub opened up soon, I would think probably by June. And there's a lot of stuff going on down at the old Mustang Sally's across from the Ford plant. Both of those are sales tax generators that will bring in revenue to the city that we did not get this past year.
Is Lisa gonna talk to us tonight about that glass?
Yes. And she's here to answer any questions you might have that Chief does not have an answer for. She did though. I wouldn't give her, okay. We talked about this for years. You guys know we got the money now. We didn't know if we had the money when I was up there. But Lisa went and she got the bids, found out about the film. I had no idea about the film. And she worked closely with Chief and Sarah to make sure that everything's right. So kudos to Lisa.
So, okay. So Lisa, you want to talk to us?
You wanna have your chat next?
Because we talked about bulletproofing more than just the glass, the walls. So is this included?
It's just the glass that they're doing. It's gonna be installation of the bulletproof glass, the film for the city hall window, police department dispatch window, and the court clerk window. It'll include the ADA compliant countertop installation. The vendors that we'd like to use are Safe Haven Defense and Modern Glass Solutions. They are going to install 1-inch thick tempered glass for all the windows with black anodized framing needed in the specific locations. The installation of a drop-down tray for each window, which will be a 10x12 tray that we can do transactions with. And then the installation of the ADA compliant countertops that ensure proper clearance for wheelchair access for the under countertops. The associated work is going to be the removal of the existing glass and the framing, preparation, and installation of the new materials. The total cost is going to be $34,284.23. That cost included tax, but I'm going to talk about how we don't pay the tax on that. So the actual cost would be $33,506.31.
Say that again.
$33,506.31. That breaks down with a bulletproof film of $24,716.31 and the glass installation of $9,567.92. So we're just waiting for the next steps of having this approved and scheduling the installation.
I just recall discussion of trying to bulletproof plasterboard walls. That, great, you have glass, but if somebody is shooting low or around, it's not going to protect the people in that room unless the wall is bulletproof, if that's possible.
That's
a film.
I thought that was film on, I was thinking film on glass.
No, go on the driveway.
So film is what? Bulletproof film.
Yeah.
So it's a coating on the outside of the walls?
Picture like the screen you put on your windows to darken them. It's kind of like that type of film, but it's bulletproof.
Or on a car,
Yeah. Just to screen your windows.
black out on a car.
Wow.
It'll go on the walls.
I didn't know that.
And what about the doors down there that go into the hallway?
We didn't get a bid on the doors.
I
I
think
think
at
that's
the
a
time you were,
completely different company.
Yeah.
Director Crum, couldn't we hang a door if we wanted to put a metal door up there?
I think that was the discussion the last
But you
time,
could-
thinking of doing it
I don't know
You're
that
on
you
your
find
own.
a metal door that can guarantee it will stop.
Right, would be better.
I mean, they have metal fire doors, I would think.
Yeah.
There's probably a door out there, I'm sure,
So-
that's bulletproof, but it's, you know, it's not gonna be $300.
No. We would like approval of this and we'll look into the doors.
I
Get
make
started.
a motion that we approve the project to install bulletproof glass film for the areas described, and the vendors would be Safe Haven Defense and Modern Glass Solutions for $33,506.31.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
Any other discussion on it? Mr. Chairman, call the roll, please.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Lessing,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Moss,
Yes, sir.
Lane. Yes.
Thank you. Anything else? Ms. Fox, would you come and give us your report, please?
I don't have anything to add to my report except that Tyler Chuck already checked out that HSA file and said it looks great. And the bank has the HSA file now. So they did not notify me before closing time today whether it's fine or not. So potentially I may be sending it over on this pay period instead. The benefit of that is so that HSA money gets to employees' accounts right away instead of them waiting a few weeks for it to get there. So, but other than that, I didn't have anything to add. Does anybody have any questions about anything?
Anybody got any questions for her? Thank you. Director Crawford, Public Works.
So I provided you all a written report. Some updates since the report on the stormwater project. They did not do the pour Saturday, February 1st. Jake, the contractor, has since, he's pulled extra crews from a different job, brought them over. What they were gonna pour on Saturday was the small head wall and the two side walls, on the downstream end of the boxes. That's framed, ready to pour. They got the lumber today to do the exact same forming for a pour on the upstream. And tomorrow they're having the metal form panels delivered to stage and form all the wind walls. And then they're gonna pour everything at once. They say by the end of this week. I think that can happen. It looks like temperatures are favorable. I've got canisters to pull samples to make sure, and obviously we'll look at the tickets from the plant to make sure the mix is correct. And after that, they'll have a small section of sidewalk, the pouring the concrete in the throats of the storm inlets, doing base for the road, asphalt on the road, and then the metal railings along the box, so to prevent anybody from falling back. I talked to Jake today and Brian's the second in command. They both feel confident they can get completion by the March 28th date, or I'm sorry, March 18th. In the packet is a change order, a no-cost change order to extend the allotted days to March 18th. They lost at least 35 days with holidays and the Arctic weather we had. Any questions about anything? That's all I got.
Anybody have any questions for it?
We need
Thank
to vote
you.
on this.
Yeah, you need to, Mr. Mayor, you would need a vote approval of the extension, wouldn't you? It's a contract. Matthew, if you could ask for a first and a second on the extension.
Okay, do we have to have it worded a certain way?
Do I have it first?
I make a motion to extend the completion date of the 2024 stormwater improvements with Selby Excavating from February 1st, 2025 to March 18th, 2025.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Chapman, call the roll, please.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Messerly,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Moss,
Yes, sir.
Wagner.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Slater. Okay. Chief Knudsen.
I don't have anything as far as a written report for this meeting. I do have kind of some, I don't think it requires any action from the board, but just wanted to inform you about what we'd like to do. And that is, we currently have 11 5-gallon barrels of AFFF foam that we have stored. If you're not aware of that, AFFF foam is now, there's a known cancer-causing agent. We're starting to see class action lawsuits and so forth. The region has polled all the fire departments to find out how much of this we all have. There hasn't been an answer yet about just what if there's an answer as a region. But what we have done, our vice president of our association, we got a bid on what it would take to dispose of 11 5-gallon barrels of this. And that bid is, I think it was $2,811. But what our VP has done is he has secured a donor that would like to pay that for us. So we'll be able to do it. There's no cost to the city, there's like I said, no board action. There'll be no money spent. That bill will be given to this donor, and that donor's gonna pick that tab up for us to dispose of that. So.
Does that donor know that's dangerous?
He's not taking it himself, no. The company that gave the bid to dispose of it is still doing the work. We're not giving it to.
He's giving us
No.
Is this donor anonymous? Because I'd like to shake somebody's hand.
Yeah.
Well, I would reach out to Chris Grant.
Okay.
He is heading that up, so that's who I would reach out to. So that was just for information for you all. So it might have been a problem you didn't know we had, and that problem is quickly solved. So.
Is there a test or anything that your employees can get to make sure that they don't have any problems with that?
Well, so the exposure is if you use it, and it's secured and there's no leaks or anything like that. So it is secure. The question just is how do you get rid of it? And the cost of that. So, that's all I have.
Ambulance lockers. You want to give them a heads up on the ambulance lockers?
Oh, on the new ambulance, the vault for the narcotics vault, we'd like to go through capital purchases, because we did not include that in the new ambulance. It was thought we would take it out of the old one. The issue is with the old one, although it works, it shows that it's unlocked when it's locked. And the deal with the narcotics vaults are, you have to be able to download the information about who gets in them. There's a lot of security around those vaults. Although it works, I think at the time, we're purchasing a new ambulance. This would be a capital purchase, and I don't have a bid on it. I told, Mr. Slater it was somewhere around 5,000, but I found it's more closer to 3. And again, this would be capital purchases addition.
Is that something that our bid with who's building our ambulance, a change order on that order?
No, so the only thing they need is the dimensions, because they will do a cutout for it. But no, there's no change order as far as price on their end as far as the bill, but providing them the vault.
Let me continue making motions. I make a motion that we purchase a vault out of capital purchases funds for the narcotics to go on the new ambulance. So you can get the dimensions for that and then relay that information to the maker of our ambulance.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any more discussion? Mr. Chapman, call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Messemer,
Yes?
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Moss,
Yes, sir.
Lane.
Yes.
Thank you, Chief. Chief McGinley.
The only thing I have to do, I want to discuss with you is I'd like to apply for a MoDOT grant. It's 100% paid for by MoDOT. We can order equipment and a bunch of other stuff with it. But we'd like to order a piece of equipment. We don't know what for sure yet. And then I'm also going to apply for about $10,000 worth of officer overtime to come in and work moving hazardous violations. So stop signs, red light, speed, pretty much anything that you think of, stop a car. And of course, then that'll produce income to the city as well. And our guys will be able to make some more money. So all I need is your guys' approval. Won't cost the city a dime. We'll get reimbursed for not only salaries, but loggers, sales, income tax, social security, and all that stuff. So won't cost a dime.
I make a motion. What he said.
Second, what do you say?
One question, is that what you was talking to me about on the phone?
No.
Oh, okay, something else, okay.
A MoDOT grant.
MoDOT grant.
Any other questions?
Yeah, we don't have to have the details.
We don't have it yet.
Yes. No.
Chapman, call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Messemer, Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Moss,
Yes, sir.
Lane.
Yes.
That's all I have.
Other questions for the chief? Ms. Wright, got any report from the
We have
court?
that report for our court.
Okay, thank you. Offer Lady Jacoby, got
Yes, I
anything
do.
from personnel?
Yes, I do. For the fire department, I have an approval of annual rate adjustment for Parker Graves, firefighter, medic, A grade, 130 from step 1 at 1803 per hour to step 2 at 1839 per hour, effective 3/3/2025.
I think that's 2/2.
Yeah, I get it.
Second?
Any discussion? Mr. Chapman, call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Messemer,
Yes?
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Moss,
Yes, sir.
Lane.
Yes.
For the police department. Let's see.
Second.
I have a recommendation for an approval of the rate adjustment for Mark Taylor, part-time police officer, pay grade 130 from step 3 at 24.57 per hour to step 6 at 26.08 per hour, effective 2/2/25.
Second?
Any discussion?
Yes. Is everybody good now, chief?
What's that?
Is everybody good now?
What do you mean?
Like, we don't have no more.
That takes care of it.
Cause I'd rather just do it all at one time.
Police officer gets grade 130. That gets everybody caught up to the right. level.
Yeah.
All right.
Mr. Chapman, call the roll, please.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Messina,
Yes.
Kobe,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Moss,
Yes, sir.
Lane.
Yes.
And I also have for the communications department, accept the resignation of Janelle Gunn, full-time communications officer, effective January 24th, 2025.
Second?
Any discussion?
Just now, what does this leave you at full-time? In communications?
Or,
Huh?
4,
What is ideal for you?
6.
Mr. Chapman, call the roll, please.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Messina,
Yes.
Kobe,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Moss,
Yes, sir.
Lane.
Yes.
Also, approve the rate adjustment for Amanda Nell, part-time communication officers, pay grade 116 from step 4, 23.74 per hour to step 5, 24.22 per hour, effective 2/2/25.
Second?
Discussion. Mr. Chapman, call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Messina,
Yes.
Kobe,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Moss,
Yes, sir.
Lane.
Yes.
In our personnel meeting, we asked Ms. Fox to do an employee survey about Legal Shield. And so there'll be a recommendation coming forward at some future board meeting about Legal Shield. She was here last meeting. So there's the information in that packet.
Is that it?
That's it for personnel. Finance, I have nothing.
Any old business? Any new business? Mr. Chapman?
Mr. Mayor, would you like me to read Council Bill 3578?
Yes, please do.
An ordinance approving an agreement between the city of Pleasant Valley, Missouri and Flock Safety for the license plate reading cameras and related software. Mr. Mayor, would you like me to ask for a motion and a second to pass Council Bill 3578 on the first and place it on the second?
Yes, please do.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
At the last meeting, Mr. Gallagher asked that procedures be established for the use of this. So have you gotten those from Flock or other police departments for you to implement? So should we pass this before? I guess it'll take a while to get this set up, so you need to get
We have plenty of time.
procedures established. Thank you.
Again, where are these locations?
So there's one right in front of Quick Trip. That's
It's not.
Good place.
Sorry.
There's one right in front of Quick Trip hitting westbound traffic.
Okay.
There's one at North Church at 76 hitting southbound traffic. There's one at our west city limits on Pleasant Valley Road hitting eastbound traffic. And there's one on, over by Casey's kind of in that area on South Liberty Parkway hitting westbound traffic. And there's one down there, it'll be by the bridge on 69 Highway in Ravenna hitting northbound traffic. That's 5.
Okay. Okay. Do we have a surveillance camera at City Hall outside?
Yes. Oh, sorry, there's one out here on Royal Street, right there. That's fine.
On this building? On this building?
No. We're putting one, yeah, on that side street.
That's not the
No,
license plate where he's talking about, just surveillance. You have like.
Yeah,
surveillance.
We do.
Okay. Profile surveillance.
No.
What kind of surveillance is it?
It's a regular old recording. It needs upgrading.
Could you check on that, the upgrading of that camera?
That camera out there, just one of them was about $12,000.
Check on it. Maybe we'll get a discount again.
This isn't flock.
No, it won't be flop. They're the license readers.
So the only street coming into the city not covered? Start.
Any other questions?
Since that issue was raised about the Stark Fulton was the only other street not covered coming into the city, was that considered, that street?
No. Kansas City is getting ready to hopefully partner with Flock, so hopefully they'll cover that area. But we can always add a camera later if we want to.
Try to stay with the high traffic areas.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Mr. Chapman?
Gallagher,
Yes.
Messerman,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Moss,
Yes, sir.
Lang.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, would you like me to read Council Bill 3578?
Yes, please do.
An ordinance approving an agreement between the city of Pleasant Valley, Missouri and Flock Safety for the license plate reading cameras and related software. Mr. Mayor, would you like me to ask for a motion and second to pass Council Bill 3578 as ordinance 3577?
Yes, please do.
So moved.
Second.
Any more discussion? Mr. Chapman, call the roll, please.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Messerman,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Moss,
Yes, sir.
Lang.
Yes.
Thank you.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Mr. Chapman, call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Messerman,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Moss,
Yes, sir.
Lang.
Yes.
Well done. Well, got your cameras. That'll be ours. Well done. We'll get a drumstick.
There are.
I know that's like the
Okay, thank you for letting me know.
Yeah. Come up together.
This came from.
Yeah.
I love it.
Storage units are.
I'm gonna start it now. It's 10 a.m. I love it, but.
Someone's coming to town. It's a lot of surprises.
Why is this one so? Why is this one so?
They use it.
I couldn't have asked her.
Last meeting I was.
Yeah, so we, you know.
Okay, so you're saying there's
$3,000. I'm like, what? I'm like, I said, you know what, I'm just blowing up. That was so expensive. I'm sure they get. Right. So somebody. I hope I.
Tell Kathy I said hello. Tell Kathy.
I apologize.
Oh, yeah, she probably may not remember. That's okay too.
I'm gonna sit up here and
All of those guys back in the day that
One thing I've always said.
dug, they did stuff.
So I green.
I had two until about 6 months ago. So I used to work on it. Especially this.
I stood this very day. So I'd be like, when I'm talking, I'd be like, it's really not, yes, sir. But, I'm aware of it.
Have you signed all these too? Better, like, come on. Just get this thing home, that means generator may not be charged.
I would like to
Check over this fire.
Okay.
Slow down. We spent some money in a good way.
I would like
I will be here tomorrow.
One.
Yeah.
They have
Saturday.